Alright, in order to get this report, and it's going to look like this, we need a crosstab query because we need more than a count, we need a summary. We want a summary by initial contact description and then by the states. Then we want a total count. So in order to do this, again, we need a crosstab query, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to create a query, and we're going to create the table plan. We're going to create the table member and the table source. So let's take table plan out. So we have the table member, and remember we have our relationship set up between this ICC code and the initial contact code. The first thing we want to do is grab our fields, so we need initial contact description. And if you noticed on the report count by state that it showed you those initial count descriptions down the left side of the report. The next thing we need are the states, and that's going to go along the top of the report. Essentially what we're creating is a pivot table in Excel. The next thing we need are our initial contact codes, because we're going to count those, and then we want an overall total by member, so we're going to count that. Let's change the name of this to count. No, let's change it to total count. Now, the next thing that we need to do is to say that this is a crosstab query. So that does a couple of things. It gives you a total row, and it also gives you something here called crosstab. So we're going to group by our initial contact description, we're going to group by our state, but we want to count the initial contact code. And we also want to count of the total overall by member. Now, as I said, in the report you saw that the initial contact description was down the left side of the report. So that's going to be our row heading, the row being one row at a time down the report. We want state across the top, so that's going to be our column heading. And then we want this count to be the value that's going to be shown in the report. So if we look at this query, you can see that it looks almost just like the report is going to be. We've got the initial contact description, and we have the count by state. So now you've got your query. Save your query and base your report on this query.